Today we celebrate the life of Padre Pio, Saint Padre Pio, known for his suffering, humility, and miracles. The man later known by these names was originally named Francesco Forgione. His parents had 7 children, 2 of whom died in infancy. They taught the 5 surviving children to live their faith through daily Mass, family prayer of the Rosary, and regular acts of penance. Francesco had already decided at a young age to dedicate his entire life to God. At age 10, he felt inspired by the example of a young Capuchin Franciscan and told his parents, "I want to be a friar with a beard." Francesco's father spent time in America, in Jamaica, in fact, where I used to work, working to finance his son's education so he could enter the religious life. On January 22nd, 1903, Francesco put on the Franciscan habit for the first time and took the name Pio, an Italian form of pious, in honor of Pope St. Pius V. He made his solemn vows 4 years later and was ordained in 1910. Shortly after, he received the stigmata, Christ's wounds, present in his own flesh. Along with these wounds, he also suffered health problems that forced him to live apart from his Franciscan community for the first 6 years of his priesthood. By 1916, he managed to re-enter community life at the Friary of San Giovanni Rotondo, where he lived until his death. He handled many duties as a spiritual director and teacher, covering for his brothers drafted into World War I. During 1917 and 1918, Padre Pio himself served in a medical unit of the Italian army. He later offered himself as a spiritual victim for an end to the war. Once again, he resumed the wounds of Christ on his body. They would remain with him for 50 years through a succession of global conflicts. Against his own wishes, the friar's reputation for holiness and attending miracles began to attract huge crowds. Some church officials, however, denounced the priest and had him banned from public ministry. Pope Pius XI ended the ban 2 years later, and his successor, Pius XII, encouraged pilgrimages to Padre Pio's friary. Known for patient suffering, fervent prayer, and compassionate spiritual guidance, Padre Pio also lent his efforts to the establishment of a major hospital to relieve suffering. He died in 1968 and was declared a saint in 2002. 3 years after his death, Pope Paul VI marveled at his simple and holy life in an address to the Capuchin order. A worldwide following gathered around him because he said Mass humbly, heard confessions from dawn to dusk, and was, it is not easy to say it, one who bore the wounds of the Lord. He was a man of prayer and suffering. So there you have it in a nutshell, Saint Padre Pio. May God give us the strength to imitate the saint. Amen. Hallelujah.